Hi, I'm Tim, and this is episode 2 of How to Make Stuff. Once again, I'm in my kitchen. What we're going to do today is learn how to feed a sourdough starter. Now the question may arise, but Tim, I don't have a sourdough starter. Well, it's easily solved. Go get a starter. There's actually instructions online on how to make a starter. It takes about 2 weeks of basically getting flour and water, combining them together, let it sit for a couple times a day. It takes about a week for it to get bubbly and active. But once you've got a starter going, the question then becomes, how do you keep it alive? And the answer is thus. First, here's my starter holder. It's a big glass wide mouth jar. There's a starter in here. Notice it's not very active. It's kind of, I got this blue reference line because I know that's about when it's not bubbling, and when it's kind of not active, that's where it rests. Once I feed it, it will double in size or more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out almost all of this. I'll leave about maybe half a cup of discard left, or half a cup of starter left. The rest of this is called discard. Now you can use this discard for various recipes. It makes a wonderful pancake mix. You add it to flour and baking soda and salt and baking powder and sugar. Once again, recipe online somewhere else. Again, I've emptied out a whole bunch of this starter. You don't need much left because, as Jesus said, a little bit of leaven spreads throughout the whole loaf. And that was true of starter as well. You see I've got most of the starter emptied out of here. And what I'm going to do, put this in the sink because it's messy. And now, I'm going to turn the camera down to our scale. In order to feed starter, you want to add equal parts flour and water, but not by volume, but by weight. So, if I get this measuring cup and fill it up to 1 cup, this is actually half cup scoop. I'm gonna use 2 of them. I'm gonna get pretty close to 1 cup there, maybe a little lower. Shake it out. Should be about 155 grams of flour to a cup. So, I shake this out, level it. 155, 1 cup of flour. Dump this into the jar. You can dump the water first or the flour first, either way, it doesn't matter. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this up till it says 155 grams on the scale. Or shut a little bit, right about 2/3 cup. So you can see it's about 2 parts water to 3 parts flour because of the differing densities. So I was for a while feeding 1 cup of water and 1 cup of flour, and I was wondering why my starter was so runny. And this is why I was basically giving almost 50% too much flour. Correction, 50% too much water. Dump this in here. And the next step, super complicated. Kidding, you just stir it. Stir it all up, scrape the sides. Scrape that stuff off into there. Don't worry, I washed my hands at some point today. All right, that's the consistency it'll look like. And notice it's filled back up almost to my little blue tape line. And the reason I have this type of jar is it keeps the bugs out, but it also lets the air escape. So I don't have a jar that I screw the lid onto, but I have a jar that you can just rest the lid on. And so set this aside, and in about 3 hours, this will be almost up to the rim. That's how much this volume expands. It'll go almost up to the rim of this jar. And that's when you know, once it's doubled in size or more, that you're ready to use it in a bread recipe. Thank you for your attention.